Good morning, everybody. I am back. I'm back in the office. I got some stuff to do later. I wanted to talk about a toy line today that I remember getting a couple when I was a kid. I didn't get a ton of them. I didn't know a lot about it back then. I was actually like, where the hell did this come from? What the heck is it? And it is the Sectaurs Warriors of Symbion. Now, this toy line came out in 1985. It wasn't released by Coleco. Coleco was one of those huge companies back in the 80s, just putting out tons of stuff, video games, all kinds of toys and that. To me, this was almost a direct ripoff of Masters of the Universe. And don't get me wrong, there was tons of toy lines that were ripoffs of Masters of the Universe. Its rise was like just crazy. It was like a meteor when it came out. So it doesn't surprise me these companies tried to mimic it and make little offshoots of it. And I'm pretty sure I had the Prince guy. I still have him somewhere in one of my toy bins. If I ever find it, I'll dig it back out again. I do need to go through all that at some point and see what I got. Standard for the time, it had a limited animated series and comic series. Neither of them lasted too long. It's just one of those series that fell by the wayside, guys. There's only so much cartoons you could watch about fantasy, sci-fi, and stuff back in the day. These cartoons, a lot of them came and went really quickly. They were just churning out a ton of stuff. A lot of them were interesting, not super great, especially when I look back on them. The classics that'll always be timeless, and then there's some that are kind of like, yeah, this is one of those ones that was for me. We're going to get right into the toy line. I'm going to show you how much they cost, what they're selling for on eBay, and ones you can add to your collection. So the first up is Prince Dargon and Battle Steed. Now, I did have Prince Zargon. I don't think I had the Battle Steed. I had the little bug thing with it. I don't even know what the heck that was called, honestly. But as you can see, in the box, complete 583 in the top. 111 in the middle, and then 331 in the bottom. So if you get this in the box, it's very expensive, guys, and even without the box, very expensive. Now, I will say, I remember some of these toys, the wings on them, they were not super durable. They didn't stay in very well. That's just from what I remember. We had a couple of them, and like I say, it's not like I was a huge fan of the series, but I seem to remember some of the stuff not being that durable. The antennas got messed up on my guy, too. I'll have to check. One is Prince Dargon with the Parafly. As you can see in the top, 20 bucks, 48 in the middle, and then 222 in the box. They took an offer on that from Greece, so probably $200. Hugely expensive. Again, they're not highly sought after. That's just my opinion. I'm sure they have their hardcore collecting base like any of this stuff. It's more of one of those things. I would call this like a complimentary collection to like your heavy hitters like G.I. Joe and He-Man and stuff like that, Star Wars. Because it's not a huge lineup. There's probably only like 20 characters, if that. And, there's a few vehicle bug things and stuff and that, and we'll get into it. Prince Dargon is one of the most popular ones. Next up, we have Guardian Patrol Centaur. Really wacky looking design here. 81 on the top, guys, and then 26 as is on the bottom. I'm assuming the one in the bottom might have some issues with it. So I would expect, $80 to $100 for this if you're buying it. Interesting looking character. I couldn't find any like in-box complete type stuff for this, so I'm not really sure what they would go for. Again, I would assume it's probably $200 or $300 just to be on a conservative side there. We have Mantor and Raplor. Now, most of these guys standard came with their own little bug and then their accessories and that. So as you can see in the top, 73 complete in the box, 55 in the middle, and then 54 in the bottom. They're all complete, and then the box added about $20 of value to this. I think if this guy maybe didn't do a bid on this, it probably would have got higher. He probably could have got 100 for it, in my opinion. Again, but picking this up for 75 and then putting it all back in the box for display would be completely awesome. Getting this complete and being able to put it all in the box and display it would be pretty awesome, in my opinion. Neat looking character. Again, these were all pretty plain to me. I don't see anything that really stands out with them. Like 80s toy lines. The Pincer Battle Beetle. And as you can see on top, $38. There is a figure with it. $13 for just an accessory in the middle. And then $6.92 brand new in the bottom boxed. Again, the box stuff is always expensive for these old toy lines. A lot of them didn't survive. Especially when they have plastic bubbles on the front like this. They easily got cracked. They get yellowed. So if you get one that's clear, not busted up like this, it is going to command a pretty hefty price, guys. So be prepared to pay up for this. Next up is Skeeto and Toxid. And as you can see on the top, $55. It is complete loose. And then brand new in the box in the middle here, $138. Actually a really good deal for that one in the box. Stuff like this for $130, $140. It's a really good deal. Now, as you can see, the shipping they got to do something with this calculated shipping and stuff from the US to Canada. Like the way this costs $96 to ship from the US to Canada. It probably weighs like less than a pound. Absolute ridiculous. eBay has got to get this stuff in order. Sellers need to do a little bit more due diligence when they're putting these online. They're really losing a lot of their customer base by doing this. Next up is Skulk and Trancula. Now this one I think was pretty popular. I actually really like this figure set. And as you can see in the top, $319 brand new in the box, $41 in the middle, and then $166 in the bottom. I'm going to assume maybe the guy took a little bit less in the middle. Maybe some of it's broken or something. It's hard to tell by the picture. Pretty complete on the bottom. Again, pretty expensive. I always just thought the fur was neat on this one, guys. I see this posted on Marketplace, but I think the person wants quite a bit for it, which I totally understand. I'm sure it's not an easy one to get. Next up is Commander Waspax and Winged. And as you can see in the top, brand new, $173 in the box, and then $69 brand new in the box on the bottom. Now the guy in the bottom shortchanged himself here, I'm not going to lie. $70 for any of these in the box is pretty cheap. You know, $173 is probably more of a reasonable price on this, even if the box on the bottom might not be as nice. Keep an eye out for this one. Neat little figure. Again, looks like just a house fly or something with the guy. It is what it is. Next one up is Zach and Bitar. Now, as you can see on top in the box is brand new, $277, $83 brand new, and then $902 in the bottom. I don't know what the deal is with the price disparity. I'm assuming the one on the top is in way nicer condition. Again, the guy in the bottom might have just undercut himself. I really don't know. eBay can be all over the place for some of these old vintage toys, guys. It does give a collector hope that they may be able to still find a deal on the platform as long as you keep looking and keep stuff in your watch list. Last one we're going to get into is the Hive, which was the Castle Gray skull of this toy line. As you can see, the top, $381, $971 in the middle, and then $515 on 16 bids in the bottom. I don't know why the price disparity is on these. As you can see, the one on the bottom really doesn't have much to it. It's almost like just the shell. The top one looks pretty complete to me. It says incomplete, but I mean, it does have that hand and then the door in it. Same as the top one. So again, you just never know with this. Always look for the lowest price first on eBay and try to get yourself a deal, guys. This stuff is, you don't want to be overpaying for it because it is very expensive, and the hobby itself is getting a little ridiculous in my opinion. And that's about it for the Sectaurs, guys. Very small toy line, very niche, didn't last long, like I said, a couple years. The concept was invented in 1978. Apparently the guy made a hand puppet. He went to a Halloween party, didn't want to wear a mask, and then this was born from that idea. For Prince Dargon in the Shining Realm of Prosperon. It was a neat little series. Some fond memories. I remember having a couple of these when I was a kid. I do not recall playing with them that much, though. I was so into He-Man and G.I. Joe at the time. Pretty much everything to me back then. So I wasn't a huge fan of the series when I was a kid. But if you are, you can let me know in the comments if you remember this fondly. I'd really like to hear from you. Please comment, like, subscribe. As always, I hope you guys are doing well and enjoying the videos and the trips down memory lane. I will be making more, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.